Thanks so much, Claire. Like she mentioned, here with the voice of the Mud Hens, Matt Melzak. And it was a great July for the Mud Hens. Now we're in mid-August. The end of the season is near. But what have you seen from the Mud Hens in their last series?
Well, I'll tell you what, Danny, was a really good series, I thought. A really good homestand for the Mud Hens. You win 2 series, one against a team in Buffalo who's second in the IL North, trying to chase down Scranton for a division title there. And they got a really good roster, especially their lineup. Their lineup is very good. Toledo pitched very well in that series. I think it's one of those things that you like to see at the end of the year. Doug Mientkiewicz just keeps trying to get this team to play well on a consistent basis. And it's been tough, let's face it. There's been so many changes. It's so hard to have a stability at all right now for the Toledo Mud Hens with the way the Tigers are moving parts all the time. So the fact that Toledo has now won 3 straight series, going back to Louisville on the road a week or so ago, then you get the win against Buffalo, 2-1, win against Pawtucket, 2-1. It's pretty impressive when you're at this time of the year, and we know Erie's playing very well, so you're not going to see any of those guys, and they're going to leave them just like they did last year for the Mud Hens when they made their playoff run. Going to leave those guys there, let them finish out the year. That means the Tigers are getting guys out of Lakeland. They might get a guy out of West Michigan. You never know. These guys who don't have a lot of experience in the upper minors, it's tough to win on a consistent basis, so it's impressive what Toledo did this week.
Yeah, I want to go back to when you said the major changes going on with the Mud Hens roster, and it's because they're getting called up. Which call-up maybe was the most surprising for you this season?
Ooh, this season. I would say, boy, that's a tough call. That's a really tough question, Danny. I think when you look at the fact that it took them a while to call up Tyler Alexander, who had pitched so well for the Hens on a consistent basis. I thought, certainly thought he was warranted a call-up, maybe 2 or 3 starts before he got that call-up. And so it was interesting to see how they kind of patience with him, and he's pitched okay. I believe they just moved him to the bullpen. They want to use him, try to use him there a little bit, maybe the rest of the year. Don't think we're going to see him back, which good for him. He needs to just be facing major league hitters at this point. I think maybe the best one might be Brandon Dixon for the Tigers. We saw him the first month of the year, and then they said, hey, we need a guy in that position, the guy that could fill in a little bit at first base for Cabrera, could kind of play a little bit around the diamond. Brandon Dixon can do that, and he's done really well for Detroit. So I think that might be maybe not the most surprising, but probably the most beneficial call-up so far, along with Harold Castro.
You touched on the playoff run last year. This year, not so much. You're around Doug Mientkiewicz so often. What has his demeanor been like?
Well, I think it bothers him a lot. He is a guy that likes to win, and he's a guy who has won at every level. Whether it's he's in Double-A a few years back, he wins a championship there. He's in High A down in Minnesota's organization, he wins a championship there. Last year, winning team, he's in the playoffs. He's a guy who likes to win, and he wants to win each and every game. If he could go 140-0, he would. And now he understands it's not going to happen. And he understands where the team is at right now in the development of trying to develop younger players, and I think he's very good at that. But he is a guy that loves to win. He's motivated to win every game that he manages. And so certainly there's a little bit of that wear on him that this team has not been able to get to that point. Now, maybe if the Tigers were healthy all year and Josh Harrison played well, and Jordy Mercer's playing well now, had played well all year and been healthy, maybe you'd see Harold Castro here all year, Brandon Dixon here all year. Maybe this team's a little bit different at this point of the season, but it is not. And that's some of the issues that you have with being a minor league organization is you've got to have guys ready to go and help out at the big league level. Toledo has done that. When you look at Brandon Dixon, when you look at Harold Castro, Willie Castro's certainly ready to go, and we'll probably see him in September for the Tigers. So there are some guys that we continue to develop, and that's really what the minor leagues are for, is to develop players for the big league team.
Absolutely. Mud Hens only have 8 home games left. Crazy.
No, this
It went by so quick.
It's too fast.
I know. It's been a beautiful summer to watch them all summer long. I think that wraps it up. That's Matt Melzak. Thanks so much for joining us like usual on Mondays. That wraps up from the Mud Hens Talk today.